introduction, this part talks about what our study is about. We are looking at how gamification can help FBS students learning fun and engaging by using game-like elements in lessons. Our study aims to see if this method improves students' knowledge and performance.
And for our statement of the problem, we have number 1. What is the food safety knowledge among FBS students acquire when playing cooking restaurant? So, food and safety knowledge among FBS students in cooking restaurant games, students acquire foundation food safety knowledge through gameplay, including proper hand washing, temperature control, cooking storage, cross-contamination, prevent, and safe food handling practices, which are reinforced through interactive scenarios in-game, like Theme Park, Kitchen, and Legends of Learning. Number 2, a statement of the problem. What aspect of the game affect the hands-on performance of food and beverage services? For explanation, hands-on performance is influenced game elements such as progressive difficulty levels that simulate real-world kitchen pressures, and immediate feedback, correcting errors like unsafe towing, improper gloves use, collaborate gameplay, fostering teamwork, and accessibility figures that reduce skills development barriers. And per our 3 statement of the problem, what are the effects of gamified learnings among food and beverage services students on hand-on training? For explanation, gamified learning enhances hands-on proximity by reducing knowledge gaps in temperature control and preservation through repeated practices building throughout confidence in food handling and equipment sanitation, and improving retention of protocols via interactive reinforcement. However, remote remote learning challenges such as unable internet, limited live demonstration may be included skills mastery. And for the last one, what innovation or intervention should be suggested for the effectiveness of gamified learning among FBS students? Explanation. To optimize outcomes, suggested intervention include hybrids, simulation, combining virtual kitchens with physical labs, real-time mentorships, tools for remote learning, culinary adapted scenarios like regional dishes, competitive leaderboards to boost engage and boost game, reflection guides to reinforce learning.
Foreign relevant tradings. According to Barrett Research, published July 2022, high school students' prevalence as food service industry employees and their lack of food safety knowledge make them prime candidates for food safety education. The researchers developed a food safety focused curriculum for high school students aligned with food knowledge standard for FBS students and advanced life. According to Sajid Sabash and Elizabeth A. Kudney, 2021, digital learning allows for a more engaging and dynamic teaching process. One key approach is a gamification, the use of game elements like competition, teamwork, and motivation to enhance learning. Game-based learning system aim to capture students' attentions, encourage goal settings, and improve communication and collaboration in education.
The research methodology. This section explains how we conducted our study. We describe the steps we followed to collect the data and analyze the results. This includes the type of research we used, the process we followed, and how we made sure our study was accurate and reliable.
Our research design follows a descriptive research approach which focuses on understanding and analyzing what is happening in a particular situation according to Borg and Gall 2022. Descriptive studies often use observation and surveys to collect data. In our study, we used a survey to assess the effectiveness of gamification for food and beverage services. FBS student at Bulihan Integrated National High School. A descriptive survey design was chosen because it is the most suitable method to answer your research questions and achieve the study's objectives.
Research local. The research was collected at Bulihan National High School in Bulihan because it was a convenient location with students who fit the study's requirements, making it easy to collect reliable data.
Population and sampling. This part talks about who joined our study. We focuses on FBS students and at Bulian Integrated National High School. Out of 102 students, we picked 51 to take parts in our research. This sample size help us get reliable results. Instrumentation. To gather data, we used surveys with yes and no questions and rating scales. We also conducted interviews to get detailed answers. These tools help us measure how gamification affected students' learnings.
The slide describes the validation process of the questionnaire used in a research study. The questionnaire was reviewed by a research advisor to ensure clarity, relevance, and accuracy before distribution, with necessary revision made after validation. Data gathering. The data was gathered using a formal process. A request letter was submitted and approved before data collection. Prior to data collection, approval was obtained for a request letter. Questionnaires were then distributed to respondents during their free time to minimize disruption. Participants were given time to respond accurately and questionnaires were collected afterward for analysis. Ethical consideration is a study when participants were fully informed of the study's purpose and agreed to participate.
The treatment of data. This study employs Loven formula to calculate the required number of respondents, ensuring statistical reliability by balancing precision and practicality. The formula incorporates a confidence level, typical 95%, and margin of error is 5%, to determine a representative sample size. For studies, using percentage-based data, proportions of students demonstrating food safety knowledge. The sample size is adjusted based on the estimated population percentage and desired confidence interval. When Likert scale respondents are analyzed, measuring attitude toward gamified learning. The formula accounts to ordinal data by assuming a conservative estimate of variety, ensuring robustness and generalizing findings. By integrating these elements, the study ensured its sample size was to evaluate outcome accurately while maintaining methodology. And for our summary of findings, number 1 question: how do you understand the preparation of meal in the game? Summary of findings: my understanding of food preparation in the game is based on my experience playing it. They prepare it for customers who buy the food. For our conclusion, our analysis to understand of food preparation shows some of common themes based their experience, and of our respondents talk about their experience by playing the game on the other side. If our respondents they don't talk about their experience, it is because they don't have experience yet in the real world. And the other is comparing the other games to our games in real world experience, but they also understand what's in the question. Number 2, Do you apply the preparation skills that you have learned in the game in real-world settings? To summary up finding, yes, many of the skills I learned from the game can be applied to real life. For example, the techniques for measuring ingredients and the correct sequence of steps in cooking becomes useful in actual cooking at home. For our conclusion, in this table show the analysis of question number 2, and while analyzing the data, some of the respondents had enough or thoughts about the developing the game, but our respondents they have experiences or experience on the real world setting, and they have also idea how to use it that come from the game. The game also helped our respondent to understand applying skills and the real world, but but the other but the other respondent is they don't believe that other games giving us idea about the real world. For number 3, what kind of techniques did you use to improve your skills? Summary of findings. To improve my skills in the game, I use a technique of consistent practice and focused learning. At first, I would practice the basic skills repeatedly until I felt comfortable with them. Our conclusion. In this table shows the analysis of question number 2. Teaching how to improve your skills shows that they are really helpful when it comes to people who love games. And our respondents is also improve their skills while playing the cooking restaurant. Is also improve their skills while playing the cooking restaurant and around. The people said that this game they don't help personalities their skill. Additionally, teaching how to improve their skills helpful to others, and they are also can be adapt the basic knowledge in the game. Our last summary of findings. Do you apply the techniques that you use to improve your skills in the game in real world settings? And how? Apply the techniques I also to improve my skills the game to real world settings. And one of the game techniques I use is goal setting in the game. I set small achievable goals to progress to different levels. And I've started doing the same with my studies and personal projects. For our conclusion, this table shows the analysis of question number 2. Applying the techniques to improve the skills show what they are really helpful when it comes to people who really understand the game. And our respondents is also agree that using techniques makes their skills improve, and around 20% of our respondents and try their best to improve their skills in real life. They are also playing cooking restaurant is giving ideas to improve your skills while playing it and teaching the game using tutorial.
Recommendations. The findings revealed that gamified learning has an influence other to improve their skills using their strategies and could be has negative. Therefore, some students need to intervention to prevent negative influence and create a supportive learning environments where students can assess their learning plan, their tasks effectively to improve their academic performance while mitigating the negative effects of peer pressure.